Welcome to a presentation on physics in sports. Today we're going to show you how physics applies to all these different sports like lacrosse, soccer, and football.
Okay guys, so today I'm going to teach you about cradling the ball in lacrosse. So, in lacrosse, cradling the ball is a key part of the game. And the reason that this is effective is because of centripetal force. See, centripetal force is when an object is going around in a circle, it becomes center-seeking and it goes towards the center of that circle. So, and it has to be moving fast enough for this process to be to happen. So, when I'm cradling the ball is seeking the center of the stick, which is keeping it in and allowing me to do all these motions. And this is way more effective when I'm getting checked and the stick is being hit, because the ball is in motion and is seeking the center. It stays in the pocket better. Okay, now to show you the effectiveness of centripetal force, I'll show you two examples of me getting checked without cradling the ball, and one of me with cradling the ball, and to show you how much more it helps to utilize centripetal force when playing lacrosse. The reason that I lost the ball was because the ball was just sitting in the stick and had no force propelling it deeper into the pocket. So now when I am cradling, it's going to be much harder for the ball to come out, and I'm not going to lose it nearly as easily. Not only is centripetal force important to utilize when you're getting checked, but it's important to cradle the ball when you're just running down the field when no one's on you. This is because, like, when I'm running, I'm making motions that are moving the ball up and down, and these forces are eliminated from affecting the stick when I'm cradling, and the ball is being propelled into the pocket deeper. Okay, now we're going to talk about passing and shooting the ball. When passing the ball, it's important to have your hips perpendicular to your target, like this, so that I can get that full rotation of my body, and use my hips to generate the power. It's important to use that to turn the potential energy into kinetic energy. And then also, when you're throwing, you've never got your feet just flat on the ground. You always want to have your feet moving, so you're generating more potential energy, and that goes through on the pass. Okay, so now that we have our body mechanics down, when you're passing the ball, you want to have your bottom hand on the bottom of the stick, and your top hand close to the bottom, but not completely on your bottom hand, because that way you're using your leverage. You've got more of the stick, so you're using your leverage to pass the ball, and you can get much more power than if you're up here and you're not using your leverage correctly. Then you've got to get your arms away from your body and using your arms like levers, and then just follow through. Okay, so now we're going to talk about catching, and when you're catching the ball, how to transfer the energy from that previous pass into your next pass or shot. So when I'm throwing and catching the ball, it's really important that when the ball comes in, I'm letting it into my stick like this in one fluid motion, because that way, when I do that, it's letting me control that energy and transfer it, so that then it's right there, and I can use it immediately to shoot or pass. So I'll give an example of this. I was using the energy from the pass before, and I just simply transferred it and added that energy into my next pass. Okay, now we're going to talk about shooting. So the thing with shooting is that most people think that your power is generated from arm strength and just straight pushing and pulling on the stick, but actually where you generate all your power is from the rotation of the hips and using gravity to shoot overhand like that, so that gravity is propelling it down, and also the power that I generate from my hips is being used. So I'm gonna turn that potential energy into kinetic energy, with loading like a rubber band, and I'm just going to release all of that into my shot. Okay, so what I just showed you how to do was to shoot overhand, and speaking from a physics standpoint, that's the way to get the most power on your shot, because you're using leverage and gravity. The most important thing is gravity, so that's adding another 9.8 acceleration to your shot when you're going through. But what a lot of lacrosse players will tell you is that they get the most power on a sidearm shot, and that's because on a sidearm shot you're able to use your axis of rotation better, because the sticks down here in your arms, the levers in your arms are able to generate more power from right here than just going up top. So I'll show an example of that right now.
The 4 key principles that must be executed consistently for a quarterback to maximize their accuracy are velocity, timing, and ultimately performance in the sport of football. So the first big step is the throwing arm must reach 90 degrees in the elbow and the armpit, as I'll execute right here. So first you want to drop back on your quarterback, and you scan the field obviously, and after you find your target, you want to load up back here like this, and then 90 degrees, so step to your target, and you have a 90-degree angle right here, and a 90-degree angle right here. So it's like that, right? You throw it. Okay, so the second key principle in being an accurate quarterback is the elbow must track up and over the shoulder directly at the target. So you want to follow your shoulder directly at the target to where you're throwing. All right. So if I'm a quarterback and I want to throw at a target, then first of all, drop back obviously. Load up with your hips. It's all about the hip movement. Get that 90-degree angle, then follow through directly at your target. Your shoulder to line up with the target. All right. So if I'm aiming for those red doors right there, I'm gonna drop back, get set, throw directly at the right target. All right, so the third step to becoming an accurate quarterback is the arm must reach triple extension outward and upward to the target. So this step's all about velocity and executing the pass to your target by step. So first, you have it here, right? Drop back, obviously. 90-degree angle like we were talking about, fall through your shoulder. But then we want to get that triple extension. So it starts in the shoulder. There's one extension, 2 extension in the elbow, and then 3 extension as you let it go. And so you just want to throw upward and outward to the target as much as you need. So I'll see if I can do this correctly. Alright, so the fourth and final step to become an accurate quarterback is the front shoulder must be perpendicular to the target to generate torque. So this is all about speed and trying to get it to your target so the defender can't get it. And so that comes from the shoulder and the hips mainly. So if my target is, let's say, the red door, obviously, again, it's got to be perpendicular. So my shoulder's facing this way and the door is this way. That's perpendicular. So I start here, I do all the steps that I just told you, and then the shoulder, you come with the power all on the shoulder, over and through. And then your hips, you want to load up your hips. It's like a rubber band. So you load them up and then untwist your hips and follow through. All right. All right, so I just touched about the accurate throwing mechanics of throwing a football. Now I'm going to talk to you about executing that in the pocket in a real life situation. So one of the things that people overlook every time while throwing a football is they don't think about the grip. The grip's the most important part, because if you don't have the right grip, then you can't throw the football correctly. So preferably for me, I like the grip where I put my ring finger right on the second lace in, middle finger right off that part, and then pointer right off the white part, thumb underneath, and then pinky just set it down anywhere where it's comfortable. And you have that ring finger right there. That's the most important part. After this, I can grip the football, move around in the pocket if someone's trying to chase me. I can tuck it easily if a linebacker's behind me, and I can get it back to this spot anytime and throw it accurately. So if I get a snap, then I have it here. Easy throw. All right, so once you have your grip down, you're going to learn to move with the ball in the pocket to avoid defenders and just have control of the ball so you don't lose it for a fumble or anything. So I get the snap, I'm gonna hold this hand on it in the front. So if someone from behind me that I can't see comes over, they don't hit it out or something. I have like full control over the ball, and like I can move around if I need to or anything like that. And then also to throw this, so you have it here secured and everything, but now we need to throw a spiral, right? Throwing a spiral, you keep your elbow tucked in and you just throw out toward your target, and you just got to work on it. Practice makes perfect, obviously, but after a while you should get that spiral throw just like this.
Nice spiral. Okay. Physics plays a fundamental part in soccer. In terms of kicks, many factors come into play, like direction, weight of the ball, and surface areas. For example, toe kicks might be stronger, but they're less accurate than side kicks because the toe does not provide as much surface area and can alter its direction. Surface kicks are more accurate since the surface area is much larger, and if it moves in the direction the kicker wants it to move. However, it also depends where on the ball you kick it. If you kick it at the center of the ball, it will move forward and keep on moving until the friction of the grass makes it stop. If you kick it in any other place, the ball will spin forward or backward, depending if you kicked it from the top or the bottom. A big myth in soccer is that a big follow-through is important or necessary in order to have a powerful kick, but it can actually take away from how fast the ball can actually go. This is because a lot of energy is being placed in the follow-through and is not put into the ball. The Magnus effect explains why soccer players are able to curve the direction of the ball when it is kicked. If a soccer player kicks the ball with a certain velocity and at a certain angle, the ball will start to curve, but the air also plays a role in how the ball curves. The air creates a force field along the ball and the ball will start to curve. Okay, so in this part of the presentation, Ronan's going to do what a soccer player shouldn't do. You ready? Ronan's going to kick the ball with his toe, which you shouldn't do because you don't have as much surface area. Go ahead.
Ready.
Okay, so now Kai's going to demonstrate what a soccer player should do, which is kick with the side of the toe because it's going to offer more surface area and it's going to go in the direction you want it to go. You ready? Ronan's going to demonstrate again what you shouldn't do when you're playing soccer, which is going and like kicking with a big follow through because it's going to take away from the speed of the ball. You ready, Ronan? Ready? Okay, so Kai's going to demonstrate what a soccer player should do, which is have little to no follow through so the ball can go faster.
This clip shows the Magnus effect. The Magnus effect is when the ball curves away from its initial path due to how it is kicked and the changes on outside forces acting on the ball. If the ball is kicked correctly, which is usually with the side of the foot, the ball will slightly curve. If players can control their feet placement, they can make the ball move wherever they would like.